How are you going to succeed on YouTube in 2020? That's what this video is all about. I'm diving into the 10 steps that you really need to know in order to succeed on this platform in 2020. It doesn't matter if you don't have a channel right now, if you're just thinking about starting a channel, or if you have a channel but you're like, it's kind of stagnant and I'm not growing. This is going to tackle all of that. So super excited to dive in. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, click the bell to get notified every single time we post a new video on this channel, which is twice a week on Tuesdays and on Fridays. All right, let's dive in. So the first thing that you need to know in order to win on YouTube in 2020 is you have to define your authority and your keywords. What the heck do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that YouTube has to know where to put you. Period, end of story. I've talked about this before, that YouTube is a machine. It's an algorithm, and it's not a bunch of human beings working behind the scenes figuring out what your content's about. You're basically talking to a robot. So you have to let YouTube know where to categorize you. And the only way to do that is to figure out what keywords work best for you and where you really want to focus. So I made this video on the 3 secrets to passive income, and I touched on something in that video where I talked about the most profitable niches, and that's a really good place to start looking, is where do you think you could make the most money off of YouTube and using this platform? Because at the end of the day, you can totally do this as a hobby, and that's cool too, and these will still apply to you if you're doing this as a hobby. But if you really want to start making money, you want to look at the niches that are going to be the most profitable for you. So some of those niches are tutorials, similar to what I do on my own channel. Why? Because it's attracting a business entrepreneur audience who actually has money to spend. Other niches that are really profitable are things like tech channels or product reviews. So those are really good places to start and to start looking around. Now, if you have no freaking clue where you want to start, where you want to build your authority, you want to watch this video on how to grow on YouTube without a niche, because I know that you might not have your niche picked out right now, and that's okay. I made a whole video breaking down exactly how to grow without a niche on YouTube. So because YouTube is an algorithm, because it's a machine, because you're talking to a robot, you need to figure out the keywords where you're trying to build authority, or the topics where you're trying to build authority, because as you do that, you will gain subscribers. It kind of works in a cycle. You make a video on a certain topic, that topic does well on YouTube, you get the subscribers because of that topic and because of that video, and then when you make another video on that same topic, you already have all these subscribers who subscribe to your channel because of that video topic, which means you're gonna get more views and engagement on it. So that's how it works. It's basically like free remarketing to a very targeted audience. So the more that you can stay in one space and one lane and niche down to blow up, the more you're gonna win on the platform. So first things first, learn how to talk. Second thing is making sure that you know where you wanna build your authority and which keywords you wanna dominate on. Once you know that, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to win because you just double down and stay in that lane and focus on that. The second thing is pay attention to what's working. And I don't even mean just on your channel. Of course, you want to pay attention to your analytics. Watch this video all about how to dive into the analytics and use them to your advantage on YouTube. But what I mean by that is actually paying attention to the whole landscape. So if you know where you want to win on YouTube, what category you want to be in, whether it's entertainment or inspiration or whatever that may be, pay attention to the winners. Pay attention to the people who are killing it in that space. Don't copy what they're doing, but pay attention to the videos that are taking off for them, getting the most engagement and the most velocity, because that is a solid clue for you as to what your audience is looking for. Even if you have an audience of 0 right now, if you're trying to attract that kind of audience from people who are currently winning on the platform, and I guarantee you, no matter what space, niche, kind of video you want to make, there is someone who's already winning in that category, and that's awesome for you because you can look at what they're doing and use it to your advantage and use it in your own strategy, in your own unique way, by being yourself and bringing your own experience, your own expertise, and your own unique personality to those topics. So pay attention to what's working on your own channel, but also with the winners in your category, and follow their steps, follow in their footsteps of what's working, and follow in the categories and content topics that are taking off for them, because your audience will eat up that content as well. The third thing is go left. You're probably thinking, sorry, what now? What I mean by this is when everybody else is going right, you want to go left. The reason being is that I've talked about CTR being hugely important on YouTube. That's your click-through rate, because if people don't click on your video from seeing it in suggested or in the search results, then they're not actually going to watch the video. So your click-through rate is the biggest barrier to entry. So when I say go left, I mean, I want you to look up the video topic that you're gonna make a video on and take a look at the top 10 ranking videos for that topic and take a look at the top 10 ranking videos and suggested results. What are the common themes with their thumbnails? What colors are they using? What's their brand sort of look like overall? And how can you stand out? If everybody's using black, you should use white. If everybody's using pink, you should use blue. So try and figure out how you can differentiate yourself just aesthetically in your thumbnail, in your title, and in your description. And that's really easy to do by doing an audit of what's currently out there and paying attention to what everybody else is doing and do the opposite by going left. Step number 4 is build your own audience. You knew I was gonna say this. So this means diversifying your audience. If you're only relying on YouTube to push out your content, you have a problem because the algorithm is not always going to play in your favor. As much as you can know all the analytics and look at the data and all those things, you need to be able to build your platform off of YouTube. So you know I talk about the Sunny system a lot, and what we mean by that is that you have your profitable content, your content on YouTube in the center, and then you use all the other social platforms to push out your content and build your audience on all those other platforms. So I use my YouTube channel. You'll notice I have my social handles like Instagram on all of my videos so that people on YouTube are gonna find me on Instagram and follow me there. And YouTube has been one of the biggest drivers in growing my Instagram account. And you'll see in this video how I grew without posting on Instagram. A big part of it was because I promoted my Instagram account on my YouTube channel. And the reason that's so important is that people go from YouTube to Instagram, and then when I publish or promote a video on YouTube from Instagram, that Instagram traffic is already super interested in my YouTube channel because that's where they came from. So it becomes this cycle of people finding you on YouTube and then discovering you from YouTube on all of your other social platforms, also signing up for your email list, and then using your email list and all those other social platforms to drive traffic back to your video so you can beat the algorithm. You're not solely relying on the algorithm to get eyeballs on your content. And to follow up on that point brings me to my next step, which is you have to distribute your content. Again, this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that I see with YouTubers, is that you're publishing your videos on YouTube and then hoping, crossing your fingers, that people are gonna see it just through suggested search or the algorithm. That's just not how it works anymore. Yes, that is where a lot of your traffic's gonna come from, but you also have to distribute your videos. So the first 24 to 48 hours are the most vital in getting seen on YouTube and getting success with your videos. So if you're not distributing your videos to your email list, your social platforms, any audience that you can, Facebook groups, forums, etc., then you are not gonna get the momentum that you need. And that momentum in the first 24 to 48 hours is so vital because the more engagement you get in the first 24 to 48 hours on your YouTube videos, the more it tells the algorithm, wow, this is a really good piece of content. Look at all the engagement, watch time, likes, views, subscribers this video is getting. We should push it out in the search results and the suggested. So that brings in the long-term evergreen traffic because of the work and the distribution you did in the first 24 to 48 hours by sending it to your warm audience and people who already know, like, and trust you and want to support your videos. So distribute, distribute, distribute. The 6th step is community. I cannot stress this enough. The community that you build on YouTube is vital. And paying attention to that community is so important to your long-term success. If you're just starting your channel and people are starting to subscribe and comment on your videos, that's such an exciting time in your journey. Don't take it for granted because those people who are there when you're at 0 subscribers are going to be there at 1 million subscribers because you actually were loyal to them, paid attention to them, and listened to them. And those people were your early adopters before you got famous, before you got big. They are your ride or dies. So pay attention to that community, listen to that community, and harvest it, and make sure that you are really nurturing it on a day-to-day basis by responding to comments, asking questions, listening to feedback, posting on your community tab, asking people what they want to see on your channel, doing polls, etc. So not just using this as a video dumping ground and distributing your content, but also treating it as a real community, and then also using YouTube to build your community, like I said, on other platforms. So building your own audience, whether that's creating a Facebook group, which is a really great idea, creating a Facebook group strictly for your YouTube viewers so that you can constantly get engaged with them on a daily basis. That's an amazing way to further grow your community and nurture it on and off the platform so that you have these two places where you constantly have an audience who's going to support your content, your videos, and your channel. Step number 7 is double down to accelerate. And again, I say those words a lot on this channel, double down. And what I mean by that is pay attention to trends on your channel, in your industry, on competitors' channels, on influencers' channels in your space. What are the topics that are getting the most views and velocity? And how can you use those to your advantage? How can you take those keywords and apply them to your own video content? Or if there's a video that is a breakthrough video on your own channel, meaning that it gets a bigger amount of views and velocity in the first 24 to 48 hours, can you make another video on that topic really quickly so that you can own that keyword and that topic because you already have picked up momentum inside of the algorithm? So doubling down just means that you're focusing on the topics that are working really well, not only on your own channel, but also on competitors' channels and other people inside of your space. So really, really important to double down to accelerate your growth. This next step is a really good little secret that I started using last year and has paid off immensely. So live streaming has become more and more popular on YouTube. I love going live on YouTube. I think it's an amazing way to build your watch time, but also to really nurture your community and be able to engage live with people. We are going to be announcing the winner of the Authority Accelerator Scholarship on this live stream. And the cool thing about your live streams is that once they're over, they still rank and they still get pushed in suggested results. So using keywords that you know you want to dominate for as a live stream. So doing a live stream on, the biggest mistakes YouTubers make. I did that one back a couple months ago and it's ranked in the search results. And so it's constantly bringing in traffic for me on a video that's like an hour long. So the watch time and the retention on that video is super high, which builds more authority for me in the algorithm for those keywords and gets more eyeballs on my channel and more subscribers. So doing keyword-friendly live streams and not just pre-produced videos is an amazing way to further build your authority in your category. Step number 8, and I will hammer this home forever, is use your analytics to your advantage. You need to be paying attention to which videos are getting you the most subscribers, which videos are getting you the most watch time, which videos have the highest retention. Paying attention to your top videos on your channel, and then from there, using those to create more content that is similar. If you look at the top videos on my channel, you'll see that there's some very common themes. It's Instagram, it's talking about YouTube, and so every time I talk about those topics, I know that I get a spike in my views and my velocity because I've already built that authority within the algorithm. So really, really honing in on your analytics, and I look at them every single day to know what's working and what's not, and that's gonna help you accelerate your growth a lot faster. If you're not looking at your analytics, I feel like this needs to be a tweet. If you're not looking at your analytics, you're not gonna grow. I've said that a lot, but it's very, very true. The final step is something I haven't really talked about before, but something that we really leveraged and did last year on my channel, which was testing. So don't be afraid to fail with your content, because some of my content that has the low views or low subscriber growth, it's actually the content that converts the best for me into my community or into our paid programs. So paying attention to what works is important, but also testing is really important, because if you test, you can always be innovative with your channel and find new opportunities and new growth ideas to use on your channel. So something that you might want to try, that we try, is basically doing a balance in your content. So you want to do keyword-friendly topics and search-driven topics, because that's going to help you get discovered and get more subscribers on your channel. But you also, like I said, want to nurture your community. So we do some deep content, is what we call it. And it's content that's specifically for our community that already exists. It's not meant to be discovered in the algorithm. It's meant to nurture the relationship with the audience that we already have. So a big part of winning on YouTube in 2020, in my opinion, is going not just wide, but really deep with your existing audience. Because if you can make sure that your existing audience is super loyal to you, then you're going to have a lot more success in the long run. So don't be afraid to test and do a balance of search content, maybe one video, and then one video that's more deep, riff, thought leader, off the cuff kind of content so that you can bring your personality and nurture your relationships with your current subscribers to get even more engagement moving forward. I'm so curious, what was your big lesson from this video? And if you haven't grabbed it yet, make sure you grab our guide on how to go from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in the next 10 months. It's a case study on one of our clients who was able to do that and generate multiple 6 figures from her channel. So you can grab that at the link below this video. If you liked this video, make sure you hit that like button below, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to be notified every single time we post a new video. And check out our YouTube Business Bootcamp playlist for all the keys to success on YouTube, and make sure that you watch this video as well. They will all help you in growing your channel at warp speed this year. And I can't wait to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.